Now Ayrshire Radio podcast presents Ayrshire Insights with Elliot Boyce.
Welcome back to Ayrshire Insights with me, Elliot Boyce, and as promised, we have a brilliant guest on today's show for this week's Local Legend Spotlight. Joining me today is Jade Mair from Little Play Planet in Ayr. Jade, a massive thanks for coming on the show today.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm buzzing to be here.
Right, before we find out about how it all started, we want to know a bit more about you. It's a Sunday. Scotland bet Haiti 1-0 in the World Cup opener. There's going to be a few sore heads this morning. So, what is your go-to in a Sunday? Is it a tea or a coffee?
Oh, it needs to be a flat white every time.
What about tomato sauce or brown sauce?
Definitely tomato.
And what is your perfect Sunday morning roll?
Perfect roll, crispy roll, black pudding, potato scone.
Oh, that sounds brilliant. Right, we're going to learn a lot more about Jade very soon.
You're listening to Ayrshire Insights with Elliot Boyce.
Now Ayrshire Radio.
If you've just joined us, I'm chatting with Jade Mair from Little Play Planet Ayr, and we're hearing how it all began. So, Jade, where did you grow up?
I grew up in Clarkston, in the south side of Glasgow.
And where did you start off? What was your, through school, what did you do as your first ever job?
So my first job was in an ironing shop. It was my mum's cousin that owned the ironing shop, so me and my friend got a job there, and we used to take our dressing gowns to work, put them on in the back shop, put a wee portable DVD player with friends playing, do a bit of ironing. Most of the stuff gets sent back, I'd say, from customers, but you know, we had a good time. So
do you still like ironing now?
Well, my husband doesn't actually believe that I ever worked in an ironing shop because he says my ironing skills are pretty poor.
So from the ironing, where did you go next?
I've had loads of jobs. I worked for Summerfields, which is no longer a supermarket anymore. I worked for BT in a call centre. I've had so many jobs.
So quite a varied start, and then obviously now you've got Little Play Planet. But before that, did you have any jobs that kind of worked in that industry? No. So I went to uni for 4 years, and I qualified as a primary teacher, so I was a primary teacher for 11 years, and I had, no plans to own a play cafe, but some things just work out that way. So when you were in school teaching for 11 years, it's obviously, teaching has its benefits with the likes of your holidays. You've got a good pension working with the council, etc. What made you take that jump to leave the profession and go and start something yourself? So I had my wee girl at that point. I had dropped down to sort of part-time hours with teaching, so I did have it pretty cushy. And then Little Play Planet was actually a business before I took it over. So there was a previous owner, and I had taken my wee girl, as a mum to the play centre. And the guy before me, no disrespect, he did an amazing job, but he did say himself that he liked building the sort of mini town rather than running it. And I remember being there thinking, do you know what, I'd love to have something like this. I think I could, make some improvements, and I would kind of have my own twist on it. And then weirdly enough, it went up for sale. And I thought about it for a wee while, and I just thought, do you know what, I'm going to take a leap of faith here, and I'm just going to do it because you only live once. So you just went for it. No, brilliant. And it's always difficult, especially when you're in a kind of secured employment, to take that jump. But would you ever look back? Do you really enjoy? Do you feel passionate about what you do? I absolutely love it. People say to me all the time, oh, you've always got teaching to fall back on, but I don't want to I don't want to fall back on that because I love what I do now. I love being my own boss. Yes, it's a million times harder, but I can't imagine doing anything else. I feel like this is what I was meant to do. So talking about the kind of being your own boss, have you when you were growing up or going through, did you ever want to run your own business, or did it just the way that it all kind of came around with this and the acquisition? Well, bizarrely enough, before the teaching, I actually wanted to be a funeral undertaker, and I wanted to have my own funeral undertaking business. Bit of a difference. So there's a bit of difference from, that teaching and a play cafe, but I always had that in my mind that I'd like to run that one day. I didn't quite know that I'd want to run a play cafe, but yeah, here I am doing it, and it's going well. Absolutely. So talking about the first time that you ever walked in, before you had it to Little Play Planet, what was it that made you think, I just love this and I want to do things with it?
So I like the setup of the play cafe and the sort of like imaginative role play compared to going to soft plays. I also like the cafe aspect of it, because I kind of looked at it and thought, do you know what, I'd like to bring in sort of local bakers to do the baking in the cafe. I'd like to get local businesses involved in the mini town. I want to do events. I want to do birthday parties. So I had all these kind of thoughts of things that I could do to make this a place that people want to come to with their kids.
And have you at any point so with Little Play Planet, so it's completely different then? So you talk about there's lots of soft plays out there as well and places to go. What's your big difference from going to a normal soft play?
So we don't have any soft play equipment in Little Play Planet. It's all role play based. So it's for the kids to explore, to use their imagination. So we have all different little units, which right now are sponsored by lots of businesses in Ayrshire. So we have a mini Tempura, we have a mini Arnold Clark, we have the Lash Room in Ayr, we have Vets for Pets, Ayrshire self-service laundrette, we have Ronaldo's, so we've got DDI Dance and Cheer. So we've got all different little units, and the kids can go into each of these and they essentially play.
That's so cool.
Yeah, it's really cool.
So it's also got the local feel as well, where the kids might be out and about. I mean, you mentioned a load of businesses there, all of which I know a lot of them, and Ashley at DDI and the team in there know them all well. But fantastic, and it's something completely different. Where are you based?
So we are Moss Hill Industrial Estate, which is just up by the hospital, and we do have like parking and things outside as well. So we don't get much foot traffic because of where we are. We do have a bus stop at the bottom, but I think unless you kind of know about us, you might not know that we're based up there.
Well, everybody listening this morning is going to know about you, but then we're going to find out the big wins and the biggest lessons. Going to do it next.
Tune in live every Sunday from 10 a.m. for Ayrshire Insights with Elliot Boyce.
Only on Now Ayrshire Radio.
Now Ayrshire.
We are still with Jade Mair from Little Play Planet in Ayr, and we've heard about the early days. Now let's talk about the business journey. So Jade, what would you say your first big win is?
For me, I would say that the sort of general play sessions were all going really well when we started. We were getting sort of like outside agencies to come in to do events, mascot companies, things like that. But the big win for me was when we did our own Easter event. So, I mean, for any kids listening, I hope this isn't a spoiler, but I was the Easter bunny. You've
ruined it. You've ruined it.
Jokes, that was a joke. So I think, doing something like that, putting the costume on, being the person who's actually putting on the event, and then running to the cafe and doing this and that, and it was a great success. And I just think for me at that point, I thought, do you know what, I'm quite good at this, I can do this, I think.
Do you not think as well, and this is the part when people look at people with their own business and they think, oh, I'd love to run my own business, but you really do everything.
Yeah.
I mean, especially in the early days, you're director, you're cleaner, you're the maintenance person, you're and everything in between. You have to deal with the full business down to marketing and everything.
Yeah, I mean, I left my teaching job in December and opened, sort of revamped Play Planet, opened it in January, and kind of went from like a teacher to a barista, a chef, a party planner, a host. So yeah, it was a big jump, and in the early days you're literally doing everything by yourself.
You went for hundreds of holidays to really work in. I'm joking to all the teachers out there. That's me going to start getting abuse now. I'll get family teachers who do a great job. Now, talking about the business again, so going through your journey, have you got a hard day, something you thought, and you're just going, can I continue?
It's not so much a hard day. Before I opened, I wanted the backing of my family. So at the time, I really needed my dad to be on board because he was a builder. He could turn his hand to anything. So I knew that when I opened Play Planet, I would have him to do absolutely everything for me. 2 weeks after I opened, he ended up in hospital and he passed away 9 months later. So that was my first sort of 9 months of business. I lost my dad. I then didn't have this person there. But also, if I was teaching, I could probably just take some time off to process it, but when you're 9 months into a business, you can't take the time off. So I guess I couldn't take any time for myself. Going through this was really difficult, but on the other side, it was having Little Play Planet was probably a saving grace, because I had something to kind of keep going.
It's something that unfortunately nobody can account for or know when it's going to be, but really sorry to hear that. But it must be as well, I mean, looking at what you've managed to achieve, especially through that, I mean, your first 9 months of trading, to experience that, especially plans, must have been really, really difficult, but you persevered and you got through to the other side. Exactly.
I think if I can get through that, I can get through anything.
Absolutely. Now, you've obviously been, how long have you been trading for?
So it was 3 years in January there.
Fantastic. Now, throughout all that time, I'm pretty sure you've had to make some difficult decisions. Mm-hmm. What do you think your most difficult decisions have been?
Difficult decisions, I think things like sort of taking a bit of a step back. So I had a wee girl last June, and difficulty for me was to think I need to slow down a little bit and sort of have faith in my staff that they can run this without me, and I need to give them a shout out because they are the best staff I could ever ask for, and they have made this possible. After having a baby, I couldn't have done it without them. So I think, it is difficult though, sort of giving up all that control, and giving other people, a bit of freedom as well. So that probably has been, the most difficult thing for me.
In fairness as well, that is how businesses scale. Mm-hmm. And if you try and keep the reins on everything and you still being that single point of failure as well, that then the business can't grow, and probably having your baby allowed that to continue and allowed you to have, you had no option, you had to let the reins go. And it's amazing, the team round about you, you're only as good as your team.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's great to hear that you've got a great team round about you. Now, throughout your time as well, there must have been some proud moments. What would you say your proudest moment's been?
Again, probably going back to like the early days, I think one of the proudest moments was a week after we opened, hosting a birthday party, because I'd never done anything like that before, and suddenly someone's put their trust in me to host their child's birthday party, which is a big event, and I felt at that point really proud and that I'd made the right decision doing this. So that, I know it was in the early days, but that's probably one of my proudest moments. And obviously I think when our first little renovation in the mini town to make it into a mini Ayrshire was Brandon from Tempura. So he came in as a customer and then he said, would you like a mini tempura? And I think seeing that there was just a massive proud moment, and then all the other sponsorships kind of came from that one tempura being built, and everyone kind of wanted on board after that. So that just felt, that was amazing. Yeah,
you get Brandon Van Rensburg, we had him on the show, lovely guy.
He's
worked with him, an absolute legend. So was that the first time that you went down the sponsorship route?
Yes, so the guys from Tempura came in, they basically transformed what was just a little cafe, a nameless cafe, and from that point, social media is kind of like,
and they're big in socials.
So it kind of took off from there, and I had people contacting me from other local businesses asking how they go about getting a little unit. So it's been now, it is like a little mini Ayr within Little Play Planet.
Now that's cool. And listen, I'm looking forward to now knowing about you as well. Not having kids, not something that we looked into, but I'm really interested to see the place and see it all. And it's great as well to spotlight some of the local businesses, and it's got that, and it just shows that's what Ayrshire's all about. It's partnership, working, and everybody coming together. Now, going through business in general, there is obviously a lot of challenges. Mm-hmm. Right now, it's tough. I mean, we're hearing it from everybody. What would you say are big challenges in running a business is just now?
I think the little help that small businesses have from like higher powers. I mean, right now, I think if you came to Little Play Planet, you would think, wow, you're doing so well, you're so busy. We've got, we're fully booked with parties, but with that, there's just the rising costs of absolutely everything. our rent, our energy increases all the time, minimum wage. Because we've got a cafe, we can see, even from this time last year, the change in the prices of our stock, our suppliers. Everyone's having to put their cost up, though, to keep going. And yeah, it's a struggle for everyone at this point, I think.
Yeah, I think we spoke about it earlier on in the show today. The cost of living is there. You've got people who are in difficult financial hardship in general. Some of the niceties don't become things that you can go to anymore, and unfortunately the focus has to be on the key bills. But what you're saying as well is looking at your costs, and it's really difficult to try and keep that price point at a point where it's available and people are able to spend it, but also covering your costs. And a lot of people probably don't understand the numbers in the background, but if you look at the overheads alone, excluding your kind of day-to-day running costs, as you mentioned there, you've got your energy prices, you've got your business rates. Just there, with national minimum wage that's went up, employers' national insurance, very difficult, and something that really, and VAT. I mean, VAT's the big one. People look at it and go, "Oh, that's a lot," but there's 20% of that before you've kicked the ball. Back to the VAT, man. Very difficult, but listen, we're keeping an eye on that on Ayrshire Insights, and hopefully there will be more support for local business, because local business is what keeps everything turning, keeps everything spinning, and has jobs in the local area. Now, throughout your time within the little play planet in Ayr, you must have seen a kind of go on a good trajectory. What's your kind of plans now? How do you feel it's going from day to day and strength to strength?
So for the first 2 years, we ran in sessions at Play Planet so that everyone came for 2 hours, and because it's a mini town, we need to reset everything so that the next customer coming in has the same experience. You know, the cafe's spotless, the play area's spotless, but we were finding that we weren't getting as many people through the door because, you know, it's a younger crowd that come, and with children's naps, and sometimes you can't plan as a mum. You don't want to book things in advance just in case, you know. So what I did was I changed everything midweek. Totally changed the format so that we are now just free flow. So if you book in, you can come at any point in the day and you can stay as long as you like. And I feel like for us this was a huge turning point. So I think I introduced that maybe December, January, and from then it's, you know, we've been busier than ever. So it's just thinking about what the customers want, getting their feedback all the time. How can I make this better? And thinking about what's current as well. Like, we've got a Toy Story event coming up in the next week, which sold out within an hour, and it's all to do with the new movie coming out. So you just need to be on the ball with things. Make sure you're up to date.
And you're right, and it's following the trends and looking at it and getting straight in about it. Listen, a great business. Looking forward to finding out more about it. Now, we've heard about the listeners' bargain of the week, but up next I'm looking for your bargain of the week, plus finding out what keeps you passionate about what you do.
Now streaming,
Ayrshire Insights, hosted by Elliot Boyce.
This is Now Ayrshire Radio.
We are still with this week's local legend, Jade Mair from Little Play Planet in Ayr, and it's time to talk community, local pride and giving back. But before we do that, the listeners have been in touch, sending in their weekly bargains, and now it's your turn. So, Jade, what is your bargain of the week?
Okay, so running a business, I've got 2 kids, obviously hundreds of time in my hands.
Yeah,
so
loads.
I booked to do a climbing course at Ayrshire Climbing Centre, and I managed to pick up something called moon dust for less than a tenner, if you know what that is.
No idea.
It's the chalk that you dip your fingers in so you get better grip on the wall.
There we go. So moon
dust.
Moon dust for under a tenner. That's Jade's bizarre bargain of the week. Right, okay, so back to you. Why is supporting local families and the community so important to you?
I mean, I feel like Little Play Planet, that's what we're all about. So as I've said, we've tried to create a mini town with all the Ayrshire businesses. We want to be a place that families feel that they are welcomed. You know, I know so many of the customers now, they're like friends walking through the door. We've created an environment that's safe for the children, and yeah, we keep putting on events, and things that will bring people in and bring a sense of joy to them in everyday hectic lives of mums and dads. So.
Absolutely. You mentioned it yourself, it's hectic as it is, but having little places like this is great for the kids, great fun. The local feel I absolutely love. And talking about Ayrshire as a whole, because you've worked with a lot of Ayrshire businesses, what does the Ayrshire community spirit mean to you?
I'm not from Ayrshire, as I said, but now I can't imagine living anywhere else. I feel like there is a community spirit within Ayrshire, and for us it's just so important to keep building on that. We, like I said, we've got the mini town, but we also use local bakers for our cafe. So we use the travelling tea trolley, Remix Bakery. We use companies like Marvellous Mascots, who are Ayrshire based, Bunny Love, which is a petting zoo in Ayrshire, and a big thing for us is supporting different groups. So we work with the charity Spotty Zebras, which is an additional support needs group. So we've rented out our space for those families to come, and it's somewhere where they feel that they can relax and their children are included, because we want to be a place that everyone is welcome and safe. We've also worked with Whiteley's Retreat, so we've raised just about £2,000 for Whiteley's, which is, we were doing Whiteley's Wednesdays for a while, where we were taking half of all play session costs and donating it straight to the charity. We've also worked with South Ayrshire Autistic Society, so we want to have a place where these families can come and they feel like they've got a place where their kids can relax. And sometimes soft plays are a little bit busy for children with additional support needs, so it's important that we create an environment that's right for them.
Absolutely, and then every single person has their own needs and their own way of playing and working and learning and stuff like that. So it's an amazing place and really great to hear all the stuff that you're doing locally and supporting local charities. Right, we're going to finish strong with a fun round and find out what's next for Jade Mair.
This is the Ayrshire Insights podcast with Elliot Boyce.
Now Ayrshire.
If you've just tuned in, I'm with Jade Mair from Little Play Planet in Ayr, and it is now time for 5 fast ones. So Jade, don't think about it, just shout out the first answer that comes into your head. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Right, okay, let's go. Favourite takeaway?
It has to be Corin Sushi and Co-winning. It's amazing.
Very specific.
I know, but it's so good.
A song that always lifts your mood.
Bit of a throwback. Hanson, Mbot.
Best thing about Ayrshire?
For me, it has to be the customers of Little Play Planet.
The weirdest moment at work?
Play Planet's a really safe place that children generally cannot escape from, and once a little child went missing and we couldn't understand where they'd gone, and they'd sneaked into Santa's grotto, which is in our party room, closed the door behind them, and then ate all of Santa's cookies. That was great. So she wasn't actually lost, she was just in the building eating cookies.
She was just hungry.
Yeah.
And the last one, who would play you in a movie about your life?
This is probably a weird one. Nicola Coughlan from Derry Girls.
All right.
You know, the one in Bridget?
Yeah.
I feel like she's funny, she can do anything, and she might look quite good with pink hair, so
there we go. And that's who will play you. Thanks for playing 5 fast ones. We're going to be asking our guests every single week to get involved. Right, before we finish up, what is next for Little Play Planet in Ayr?
Well, ideally, we would love to expand and have a premises somewhere else. So hopefully the cost of things, as we said, don't keep rising. And for us, we don't want to keep increasing, or we hardly have increased our prices at all since we opened 3 years ago, because we want it to be an affordable place for families. So as long as we can continue to do that, we will. But yeah, expansion to somewhere else within Ayrshire would be absolutely amazing. That's the dream.
So if someone's listening this morning and wants to know more about you, wants to come and see you, what's your socials? How do they find out? How can they book? How can they get in touch?
So we've got a really big following on Facebook, so it's just Little Play Planet. We're on Instagram as well. Again, just Little Play Planet. We have a website, which is littleplayplanet.com, and all the information is on there.
And you can get in touch. And again, what's your opening hours as well?
So we are open just now 7 days a week. We are open Monday to Wednesday 10 until 2:30, and then Thursday to Sunday 10 until 5. And we always say just to check the website, because there's a little calendar on there and it'll show you if we have space or we've got availability, because sometimes people book it out exclusively, so we can't let members of the public come along as well.
Of course. So the team in there listening just now,
I hope so. Yeah.
They better be listening.
Well,
in.
there's a party going on, so it might be a bit weird if they're listening to the radio.
So, also, I mean, you talk about your team in there as well. I mean, you mentioned it as well. What age group are your team? Your team?
So they range from 15 to 20, I think the oldest is.
And that's the oldest, isn't it?
Yeah, and
are you the ma?
Oh, I actually could be their ma. I could probably be all their ma's. But they honestly are, I can't stress it enough, they are just the best team ever, and I hope they are listening, because they will never know how grateful I am for them, and I love them all so much.
Brilliant. What's one thing you'd like to see for Ayrshire's future?
I just want to see small businesses continuing to come together, and for me, I hate to see when you open up socials and you see that there's another Ayrshire business closing down, or, it makes me really sad. So I hope that, everyone manages to pull through this tough time, and that we do all stick together.
And have you got any final shout outs and thanks?
So obviously I need to say my husband, don't I, because he's listening at home. So
big shout out to the husband.
Big shout out to Gavin, and to my wee girls Blythe and Mallory. As I said, the customers are now like family. I'm so grateful for their loyalty, and the biggest shout out ever to my staff.
Big shout out to the team. Jade, a massive thank you for coming on the show this morning.
Thank you so much for having me. It's been amazing.
Jade Mair from Little Play Planet in Ayr.
This is the Ayrshire Insights podcast.
Never miss an episode. Hit subscribe now.